Long ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a wise and mysterious king. Every day after the royal banquet, he asked for a special covered dish that only he was allowed to eat from. No one in the castle knew what was inside, except the head servant, a curious young man who had long served the king loyally. One day, the king went out on a hunting trip, leaving the servant alone in the castle. As usual, the secret dish was delivered to the royal chambers. This time, curiosity got the better of the servant. He waited until no one was watching, removed the cover, and found inside a white snake. It shimmered like silver and gave off a strange aroma. The servant hesitated, but then took a small bite. No sooner had he swallowed than he heard a strange sound. Looking around in confusion, he realized it was the birds outside, speaking. To his amazement, he understood them. The bite of the white snake had given him the power to understand animals. But soon after, trouble arrived. A valuable ring belonging to the queen had vanished, and suspicion fell upon the household servants. The king ordered the head servant to be arrested. In his panic, the servant remembered the birds. He snuck out to the palace garden and heard a goose squawking to another. "I feel so odd today. That golden ring I swallowed yesterday is bothering me." The servant rushed to tell the king. A cook was ordered to cut open the goose, and sure enough, the missing ring was found. The king was astonished, and the servant's name was cleared. As a reward, the king offered him gold. But the young man asked only for a horse and permission to see the world. The king agreed, and the servant set off on his journey. One day he came across a pond where 3 fish were trapped in reeds, gasping for breath. They cried out, "Help us, kind traveler." Moved by their pleas, he gently freed them and returned them to the water. "We will never forget your kindness," said the smallest fish as they swam away. Later, while crossing a forest, he saw an anthill being trampled by a group of careless horsemen. The servant carefully rerouted his horse and said, "You tiny creatures deserve to live too." The ants squeaked, "We will remember this kindness." That day, he saw young ravens being pushed out of a nest by their parents, forced to learn to fly. One chick couldn't fly yet and fell to the ground, chirping helplessly. The servant gave it some food from his bag. "Thank you," chirped the raven. "You will not regret this." Many months passed, and news reached him of a beautiful princess in a distant land who had declared she would only marry the man who could solve 3 impossible tasks. Many had tried and failed. Intrigued and with nothing to lose, the servant went to the castle and asked for a chance. For the first task, the princess scattered 1,000 pearls in the grass and said, "Find every single one by sunset, or die." The servant sat down in despair, but then a tiny army of ants marched in. "Don't worry," they said. "You spared our home, we'll help you." By evening, every pearl had been found. The second task was to fetch a ring the princess had dropped into the sea. As the servant stood by the shore, wondering what to do, 3 fish surfaced. It was the trio he had rescued from the reeds. One had the ring in its mouth and placed it gently at his feet. The third and final task was the hardest. The princess herself came forward, looking exactly the same as 2 handmaidens beside her. "Find me," she said, "or your life is forfeit." The servant looked at all 3. None showed any clue. Just then, a black shadow circled overhead. The raven. It swooped down and landed on the true princess's shoulder. The servant pointed. "This is the one." The princess stared, shocked, but smiled. "You have passed all the tests. You have a good heart, and you listen well, to the world and to others." They were married that very week, and the kingdom rejoiced. The servant, once just a curious young man, became a beloved prince, and eventually a wise king. But he never forgot the voices of the animals or the truth he had learned, that kindness, even to the smallest creatures, is never wasted. The moral of the story teaches us that kindness and empathy toward all living beings can lead to unexpected rewards and profound transformations.